Yo, what up guys, Magic IQ here. If you guys could, please leave a like on the video before it starts. I would really appreciate that. Without further ado, let's get into the build breakdown video. Alrighty guys, what up, Magic IQ here. Now for the build breakdown, man. As you guys saw the gameplay, I did do Pyromaniac and Devourer in 30 seconds or less. I've gotten Devourer to about 27, 26 seconds now, but I forgot to record that gameplay. But it's literally just luck on crits when it comes to the 4 skills. So if you get good crits, you're going to get it done in less than 30 seconds for sure. The build is not completely finished yet. There is another variation of it I'm thinking about making with Dangerous Ambush. Guys, I'm obviously very aware of that talent. It's something we use on Freyna as well, but personally I think I wanted a little bit more, I guess you could say, defense with this build and a little bit more survivability, just because I like being a little bit tankier recently, and also it makes the build more versatile. This build, since it has so much CDR, you guys can use this in a group as well and it will fare very well. It has good damage, it has a good cooldown like I mentioned, and it's just an all-around great build. I really wouldn't even use a group bossing build. Essentially this is for both bossing in general in groups or solo, and it gets the job done. So I hope you guys enjoy. This is V2 though, so there will be a V3 where I try to make some kind of mobbing setup with her as well, and I can use a couple other transcendent talents if you guys would like me to, but personally I've built around cold-bloodedness and I really hope you guys enjoy it. Now let's talk about the feedback from the last video. So I did see a lot of you guys talking about the fact that I was using skill simplification and how the power modifier doesn't really do anything for her, and I agree, you guys were correct. I found out shortly after uploading that video through some respectful comments and some also disrespectful ones, I swear. I do appreciate the respective feedback. I don't care how much you guys tell me I'm wrong, as long as it's in a respectful manner. I can completely take criticism, as I've completely changed the build essentially when it comes to that. Now the people that were disrespectful, it's unfortunate, but I understand, man. You feel very passionate about the game and you don't like to see things going wrong, which I don't mind, but let's just remember we're all human and we make mistakes. But on the flip side, I did know that the power modifier, even though it doesn't affect the 4 skill that much, it does help out a little bit with the fusion skills as well as her passive tech. So that's what I was also kind of thinking about as well, because it does buff this. I wanted to see if there was some potential there with the ice spheres to do a little bit more damage. And I also saw a lot of comments about using my gun for my main source of damage, so I hope you guys are at least able to see. In this video, we barely touched the gun at all. We did enough just to get it down on its knee, and then everything after that was pretty much skill damage and me holding onto the shoulder to get the ticks out. So I hope you guys are able to see that as well. You can make this build without the Python. If you guys want me to clear it without the Python, I can do that too. I will be making a build for V3 though with the cold cohesion and a little bit of power modifier in there as well for the ice spheres, because I really want to see what those are capable of and if I can build around it. So I know that'll be something a little different. Hope you guys are looking forward to that. But without further ado, let's get straight into the build. Alright guys, so as you guys know already, we're building this around cold-bloodedness, okay? My favorite talent for Viessa by far. I really like having my skills up 24/7. It is very, very nice. We have focus on chill still, using chill skill power and the skill cooldown there with all the crit possible. So that means skill insight, skill concentration, emergency measures, and front lines. But on this build, we do now have MP conversion. Big shout out to the homie in the comments for letting me know about this. I saw it before, but I thought the MP would be too low, but it apparently goes only up to 15% negative, so that's not even that bad. Negative 15% wasn't that awful, especially with how cold-bloodedness takes away from the skill cost of use, so it's actually pretty good. Nimble Fingers as well pairs with that very nicely, and you get a decent cooldown rate on the first fusion skill, which basically makes it spammable like 24/7. I want to see if I can get it down to less than 0 seconds and then try and see if I can literally just keep spamming it, but I think there's like a block on how quickly you can spam it anyway, but it would be cool to have like a machine gun frost shard. But anyway, yeah, so I really like the cooldown on this as well, and it pretty much keeps our 4 skill up 24/7, so I hope you guys enjoy that as well. And I saw a lot of you guys talking about building into range. I don't think it's necessary as long as you finesse the boss movements. The only thing I would think, I guess it would be necessary on is if you're in a group and then maybe you might not hit the boss, but then in that case I would just say to just kind of play it properly, guys. I mean, you guys can finesse the movement of the boss to keep them in the radius at all times, as you guys see from the boss gameplays. It's very simple, honestly. You just walk back, the boss will follow you. If you want him to go back, you kind of push him back sometimes with a little bit more damage and he'll go backwards. Just finesse the movement and you don't have to run expansion. If you guys want to run expansion though, I would obviously put it here instead of the 8% skill power. If you guys think that helps you out, you guys can swap out Spear and Shield for skill expansion, okay? And just go ahead and max that out. Eventually, we will have increased HP here. I'm still debating on if I want Battle of Stamina or increased HP. That will be a topic for a little bit of a later discussion in the V3 video. We'll see if it really benefits it enough for it to matter, but I'm pretty sure the extension already outlives the cooldown, as you guys saw, so I might not mess with this. The only reason I would change it would be to try and get rid of Focus on Chill to run something a little bit stronger, but I think I'm pretty happy with where everything sits at the moment. But yeah, as of right now where it sits, I'm very happy with everything. Obviously, once you're full HP and full maxed out Spear and Shield, your defense and your survivability will be increased significantly, so those stats as of right now are pretty low, being at 10k and 2k, but I know for health wise I can get this exact build probably up around 8,000 to 10,000 health and the defense around maybe 20k, so I think I'd be pretty happy with that. I hope you guys would too. Now let's talk about the reactor and the external components. For the reactor, we're still stuck with the same one, although if I do feel like spamming that fusion shard, I will be using this one right here with the skill hit crit damage and the fusion skill power boost ratio. I'm gonna mess with it a little bit and see if I cannot get those frost shards to be like a machine gun. I think that would be a pretty cool tech, but I don't know how it's possible as of right now. But I'm pretty happy with the cooldown and everything, and definitely using this, even though we don't even have attack versus Colossus yet. I've been trying so hard all day, guys, to get it to drop, and it's just not dropping. I've been farming that mission and the outpost right next to it to get Ultimate Bunny's enhanced cells. It's the last part I need for Ult Bunny all day, and it will not drop, and I'm so upset about it right now. But we're still grinding for it, so once we get that attack versus Colossus, I could easily see this build dipping into the teens of seconds or even low 20s for sure. I mean, it's going to hit way harder at that point with that multiplicative damage. The external components are still the Slayer set, which is one of the best sets in the game. I still am cooking up a video on why I think this is best in slot right now. Let me know what you guys think you've been running external component wise. I've seen people running a little bit of the chill skill power, but even though it's a multiplier, I just think skill power 26.1% is so strong. It is immensely strong, and obviously the general rounds capacity is nice if you're in a group using the gun as well. So for the gun, we're still running the same Python build as before. I've only changed my secondary now to another eternal willpower, as I have multiple of them with different, I guess you could say, stats on them in terms of chill ATK, fire ATK, and electric ATK. But this one specifically is firearm critical hit rate, bonus attack versus Colossus, firearm attack, and that fourth roll will eventually be crit damage. This is always going to be my reliable secondary for bossing, as sometimes some of the bosses have weak points that are generally not essentially considered weak points. They're like the immunity weak points, I guess you could say, which I don't know why, if they need to change that or not. I think weak point damage should be dealt to those immunity weak points, as that's kind of what they are. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Let me know what you guys think on that topic. But yeah, that's my secondary, and then I like this little cool pistol as well. I might try and make a pistol build in the future, because the firearm attack and fire rate don't actually seem that terrible, but we'll see what we can cook up, man. But anyway, that's been my build today, guys. Here are the statistics as well, as I show you guys at the end of every build video. I'm pretty happy with where my Viessa sits at the moment. Now it's just getting her a little healthier. All the damage talents and cooldown talents for me are personally going to stay. Like I said, you can experiment with ambush over one of those cooldowns, or you can swap out spear and shield for ambush and lose a little bit of defense and possibly skill expansion as well. But that's up to you guys if you guys want to test that out. Me personally, I'm going to stick with the build as it sits. I'm just giving you guys options to go and try on your own. These are my statistics. I hope you guys have enjoyed. It's been Magic IQ, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for all your positive and sometimes negative feedback too, as there are good suggestions, and I'm not going to sit here and cap. But I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.